Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is my very first video on my art YouTube, which I'm really excited about. So I thought I would do something kind of special. Now, normally when I paint characters or draw characters, I usually don't do it in this kind of format. Usually I just kind of draw it out, see what needs to be changed, and then, change it myself. But I've never actually drawn shapes and then, kind of added onto it afterwards. I don't know the correct terminology because I just don't do it a lot. And I decided that, you know what, maybe let me get this book. I got it at Michael's, and I believe, I wonder if it still says it. Yeah, so I paid $9.95 for it. And I decided to get it to maybe kind of test my art abilities to see, maybe if I can do it, if I can't do it. It does say that it's for juniors, so this should be perfect for me because I've never done this before. So I just thought it would be fun to do. Now, this is the first page. Table of contents. So it kind of shows you what exactly we'll be doing. Lists the tools and materials that I'm going to need. So what I decided when I do this is that instead of painting it right away, I'm going to sketch it out, do the outlines, and then photocopy it and then paint it a little bit later, and then I can add that into the video. So that's just kind of what I was thinking about doing. That way you can kind of see the sketch and the process, and then I'll go ahead and do it. It looks like the first character is going to be Carl Fredrickson. Now, he is from the movie Up. He is the older man. Looks like this is going to be kind of interesting. It does show me what it's going to look like at the end. I hope mine ends up like that. It looks simple. There's not a whole lot of directions. And like I said, I'm really bad at this. I've never done this before. If you wanted to maybe draw along with me, that would be really cool. You can send me stuff on my Instagram, which I will link down below. I'll repost it to my stories. That way I can kind of see what you guys were doing and how you did it. Maybe send me your progress. So I'm going to try this out and we will see how it goes. And like I said, I've never done this before. Alright, so like I said, I'm just going to be sketching out the drawing in pencil, and I'm going to use this blue pencil. What I'm going to do is sketch it out in the blue, and then once I am finished, I am going to go over it with the black ink, and then I will use my light box and trace over it onto watercolor paper, and then I will paint it there. Now, I am using the Stadler, I don't know, please tell me how to say it because I'm not sure, but it is a non-photo blue. So I'm going to be using that to draw with, and then I am going to use a normal Sharpie to do the outline, and it is the ultra fine point. Yep, right there. That is the ultra fine point that I'll be using to outline it. So let's get started. So I am using the Canson Mix Media. It is 98 pounds, 7 by 10. I got this one because it had a lot of papers. I did use this as my very first sketchbook when I first started trying out watercolors and sketching, and I really like it. It holds up pretty well when it comes to sketching or markers or anything, but when it comes to watercolor paints, not the correct weight for it. So normally I just use it for pencils or pens because I'm just trying to kind of play with that right now. And then as far as lighting goes, I am filming this a little bit late in the afternoon, so the lighting is a little bit weird, so I apologize. And also I'm kind of limited with space, so what I'm going to do is just move it from one side to the other once I'm on that page. So if you were following along, you can go ahead and pause it. That way you can kind of sketch with me, or if you want to go ahead get ahead, you can always skip this. So yeah, let's get started. I guess just kind of start just drawing the line. And I'm not sure, like I said, I'm not sure what I'm doing. It says that kids can do this, so if kids can do this, then I can do this, right? I don't know if that's too big or what exactly I should be doing. Now it kind of looks like it's actually at an angle. I guess. I'm not sure what I'm doing. So we made a square, and now it looks like I take this and go down. I think that's far enough. He is going to look so terrible. I already can feel it. Maybe that's too far. That looks a little bit better. I just realized that now he is leaning more towards the right.
Like that. And like that. Yep, that looks pretty good. Then I'm going to take his chin and go here and here.
Okay, so I think it's kind of safe to say that they do look a little similar, which is great. Great so far. So let's go on to the next page. Now it looks like we are going to get a little more detailed, and it looks like I may have drawn him too short.
So it looks like his eyes are here, and his eyes are there.
Glasses. That is starting to look so good. Alright, so let's work on his hand.
That's what I'm going to get, is what I'm kind of understanding. So, now we do the legs. So we're going to start from here, down. And then a big line to there. That's going to be heel, up, down.
I made his shoe too big. That looks like a woman's shoe. Shoes are done. Down, then down, then down. What just happened? That one, then that one, and then that one. That looks too big, so I'm just going to round it out. And it looks like this comes down and then up, makes a little divot, and down, and then back up. That looks way too big. We do two little divots here. The lighting is getting kind of weird. Like I said, I'm filming this in the afternoon, so maybe next time I will plan this out a little bit better, so that way I'm not doing it in the afternoon. Alright, so now it looks like we're going to be starting off with more details. Some little lines in his hair. Then we have one wrinkle, two wrinkles,
Just a little bit. Yes, I should have done that there.
This is what he looks like pre-inking. So let me kind of just show you. I'm seriously not sure why the speed paint or the speed drawing ended up being so like weird. It was positioned weird, and I have my camera the exact same way, and there's literally like no way that I can like set it up to the point where I could position it the right way. So I don't know what happened, but so hopefully this part ends up okay. So what I'm going to do now is do the light box, and as you can see that you can not really even tell the blue in it. So what I'm going to do is take my light box, I'm going to sketch it onto watercolor paper. This is my light box. Well, it's a light pad. I decided to go on Amazon and I found this one. I think it was like $30 because I got same day shipping, and it does have 3 settings. So that's the first one, the second one, and that's the third one. So it does get pretty bright. And I would definitely highly recommend it. It is a cheaper option because I know the bright pad is like, I think it was like on sale when I was looking at it. And I think it was on sale for like $50. And I think that was like half off. So it was like $100, I believe. I don't know. I'll link that down below. Alright, so I'm still doing the sketch. Right now, I'm just going to try and like mess with some colors just to kind of see where I want it to go with the color scheme, because I'm kind of looking at the book right now and I do want to get it as close to the image as possible. And what I'm going to use to paint these are actually gouache. And I kind of recently just started getting into gouache a little bit more, and I really like it. It's a very opaque, which is always a plus when doing like illustrations or characters, because it's easier to work with than acrylic. With gouache, you know, you can reactivate it with some water, so if there are changes that I need, I just go ahead and add some water. The only like problem, and it's actually been kind of like a struggle, is finding out which colors I want, because a color could, like, say if I just put white, or that's a bad example. So say if I was going for like a brown and I mixed a regular like burnt sienna with some black, it would dry a lighter color than what I would think is mixing when it's wet. It's a little tricky when it comes to them, but I'm still working with it. So if it does look a little discolored, that's the reason why. But so far gouache has been my go-to. And I do use the Artist Loft gouache. I work at Michael's, so this gouache is actually really cheap. It's like $5. You get, let me just show you. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 colors. And I actually, the only problem is you don't get individual ones. You have to buy a whole pack. So say if you run out of one color faster than the other, you still have to buy a brand new pack, which is very annoying. I tried to go on a Artist Loft website. They don't have a website because it's Michael's brand. So technically that is the website. That's the only thing that I would complain about, because I do use a lot of whites when I do use gouache. So I actually did have to buy like a whole brand new one. I know that there's other brands that people use that are really good. But so far this is just the brand that I'm using as I'm starting to learn. And maybe when I make a little bit more money or can save a little bit more money, I will invest in some really good gouache paints. Alright, so I'll go ahead and do some color swatches right over here because this is just my sketch. And then once I figure out my colors, I will paint on this one. And this is Strathmore watercolor paper. And I think it's like 140 pound paper. I like it. A lot of people don't really like the Strathmore brand, but I feel like it does the job, and I haven't had a problem with it. So let's go ahead and get started. Went ahead and picked all the colors for him and his outfits. Let me kind of do it this way. So I labeled them so that way I can kind of get a better idea of where I'm going to put everything. And I think I am ready to paint. So I'll go ahead and get to that. Alright, so here he is. He is all finished now. Let me go ahead and get a little bit closer. So I did add some of the shadows that was on the image, and I actually outlined him in a black line just because I think it looks a little bit better. You don't necessarily have to do that, but I just decided to because I like the way that it looks. And of course, like I said, you don't have to. And then here is this one. So this is the sketch that we did, and I think it looks pretty good. I think it came out pretty good. I'm really happy with it, and I definitely can't wait to do more. So I think I might be posting these. I'm not sure exactly when I'll post this, but next week we will definitely be doing the next one, which I think is Russell, so that should be pretty fun. Go ahead and leave all my social medias down below so that way you can stay up to date with everything that's going to go on, what I'm going to be posting and everything. My Etsy shop is now on vacation mode, but I will be putting up new listings soon, so if you favorite my shop, you'll definitely get updates. Also follow my Instagram, and I'll definitely give you updates as well on there. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.